facts about Marcus Rashford. Manchester United's beloved youngster Marcus Rashford is considered an example for young footballers all over the world. Besides being one of football's top young talents of this generation, the Red Devil has made a name for himself through his actions off the pitch. In this video, we bring you the top facts about Marcus Rashford. He is a Halloween boy. Marcus Rashford was born in Manchester on the 31st of October 1997, right on the day of Halloween. This perfectly explains why the Halloween boy turns into a nightmare for the opposition players on the pitch. Struggles during his early life. Despite all his riches now, Marcus was born in a working class family. He had 2 elder brothers as well as 2 elder sisters, and his mother, Melanie Maynard, was a single parent who worked multiple jobs to feed the family. There were even times that she had to skip meals to ensure that her 5 children had food on their plates. He started his career as a goalkeeper. Can you imagine a player with Rashford's attacking abilities standing between the posts? The United man started playing football at the age of 5 when he joined the amateur junior football club Fletcher Moss Rangers FC. Even though Rashford is known today for his spectacular attacking abilities in terms of agility, dribbling and finishing, he started his career as a goalkeeper. His goalkeeping idol used to be former United and American goalkeeper Tim Howard. At the end of the day, he decided to play as an attacker, and it proved to be the best decision for him and United. Gosh, what a waste of talent it would have been if he remained a goalie. He almost joined Manchester City. It just seems so incorrect to even imagine Rashford wearing the sky blue jersey, but in reality, it was a massive possibility. Following Rashford's performances at the tournament, where he helped Fletcher Moss Rangers win the trophy, he caught the eye of several clubs. 15 scouts from various teams attended the tournament, and they all believed that Marcus was playing at a different level than others his age. Top clubs such as Everton, Arsenal, City, and United showed interest in the player. Rashford trained with Manchester City for a week, and despite the City Academy being a much more feasible location for him geographically, Rashford decided to opt for United's academy at the age of 7. His brothers helped him make this decision based on the club's rich history, and because their academy system had a program to develop individual skills, which was much more suited for Marcus. During his early days, Rashford missed training very often as it was hard for him to get to the academy. So United's youth coaches had to help him find drivers so that he could attend training sessions more regularly. In the end, it was all worth it for United. Cricketer Marcus Rashford. While we are talking about things that could have happened, you would be surprised to know that Rashford almost became a cricketer. His high level of athleticism made him a solid batsman, a sharp bowler, and an aware fielder. He received a lot of praise for his excellent eye-to-hand coordination. However, in the end, he chose the game he loved more, and it is safe to say that he made the right decision, considering how far he's come. The Man United star is a good friend of English cricketer Jofra Archer, always outperforming his peers. Rashford joined the Man United Academy at the mere age of 7 when he was still at primary school. At 11, he got selected for the Manchester United Schoolboy Scholars Scheme, which is a monetary reward normally awarded to players of age 12 and above for their excellence both academically and on the pitch. However, Marcus was so good that he got selected for this despite being underage, which made him the youngest player ever to receive this honour. Apart from this, Rashford was so ahead of his peers in terms of abilities that he was fast-tracked to play with older athletes. He even played cage football with players such as Paul Pogba, Jesse Lingard, and Ravel Morrison, who are 4 years older than him, in order to increase his level of skill and push his limits. He was called for training with the main team for the first time aged 16, when United was under the management of David Moyes, making history aged 18. While most 18-year-olds are sitting on their couch waiting for the next season of Stranger Things, Rashford was out there writing his name in football's history books. After training with the first team on several occasions and appearing on the bench multiple times, Rashford finally made his debut for the senior team aged 18. But it was not any normal debut, as the young prodigy set his foot on the pitch to make history. His first match came in the UEFA Europa League against Midtjylland, when Martial picked up a sudden injury during the warm-up. Rashford scored a brace in United's 5-1 win, which made him the youngest scorer ever in European competitions, a record previously held by George Best. But that's not all. Just a few days later, he scored the only goal in United's 1-0 win over Manchester City to make him Manchester Derby's youngest ever scorer, aged only 18 years and 141 days, beating the previous record holder Wayne Rooney by almost a year. However, that wasn't enough history making for the hungry Red Devil. Rashford also decided to break Wayne Rooney's record of youngest debutant for the England national team by 4 days, when he appeared in the Euro Cup, aged 18 years and 229 days. The debut merchant. For any normal person, the first game for a big team is always a very nervy moment. In that sense, Rashford seems to have nerves of steel. As we already mentioned, the United star had dream debut, scoring in his first ever match for United, which was in the Europa League, as well as his first ever derby. While most young players starting their careers would love to settle for that, the Manchester boy just wasn't satisfied. He scored in not 1, not 2, but 6 debuts. He scored a brace on his Premier League debut against Arsenal, and the winner on his EFL Cup debut against Northampton Town, to check the list off at club level. At the national level, Rashford scored a hat-trick against Norway on his England under-21 debut. To complete the entire list, the English wunderkind scored the opener against Australia on his senior team debut for England, making him the youngest Englishman to score on his international debut, and the 3rd youngest overall. Rashford's footballing idol. After everything that he has already achieved, Rashford has become an idol for many young players all over the world. But who is his idol? Considering that Rashford is a pure red through and through, it is very normal for anyone to expect his idol to be some United legend like Wayne Rooney or Van Persie. However, the young lad fell in love with R9 on the first live game he ever watched. He attended the game at Old Trafford, where Ronaldo scored a hat-trick to destroy United and send them out of the competition. He had chosen his idol on that day. Ronaldo Nazario has also admired the young English attacker, saying that he sees some of himself in Rashford, especially because of his courage, rapidness, and hunger to score goals. He further added that the player has an amazing future ahead of him. He employs his brothers. As we already mentioned earlier, Rashford was helped by his 2 elder brothers, Dane Rashford and Dwayne Maynard, when he decided to join United's academy. They are currently under the employment of Marcus as his career advisors. They help their younger brother make various commercial decisions off the pitch. This is actually a good thing, considering how some footballers are exploited by their ruthless agents, who are in charge of plotting the player's career. Engaged with long-term girlfriend. Rashford has recently announced his engagement to his high school sweetheart, Lucia Loy. They had been dating for the past 5 years, and despite splitting up in 2021 for a short period, they are now back together, better than ever. The lockdown hero. At the time of the coronavirus pandemic, when there was a global lockdown in place and football was at a halt, Rashford put his free time to good use by investing it in charity work. Due to the pandemic, several children had to remain hungry as a result of missing their school meals. Rashford collaborated with a food waste charity named Fair Share to raise over £20 million to provide 3 million children with proper food. He then wrote to the UK government, pleading with them to put an end to child poverty. The very next day, the government announced its decision to provide free school meals to children over the summer holidays. He was appointed Member of the Order of the British Empire for his contributions towards ending child poverty and hunger, a hero for the homeless. Even though his child hunger campaign earned him the most recognition, Rashford had been involved in charitable work long before that. For example, on the Christmas of 2019, Rashford collaborated with the big department store Selfridges to launch the In the Box campaign. The campaign encouraged shoppers to fill a shoebox with gifts and other items that will be useful for the homeless people in the Manchester area. It was aimed at providing the homeless with essentials over the Christmas period to make their winters better. They were able to fill up over 1,200 boxes, which were personally delivered by Marcus and his mum to the homeless. Some of these boxes were also sent to a children's home in his grandmother's home country of St Kitts and Nevis. A display of genuine kindness. Nowadays, with the amount of money that top sports professionals earn, almost all of them have to get involved in some kind of charity activity, or they end up getting bashed by the public. It is hard to say whether they do it just for public relations or for their own genuine desire to help the needy. However, in Rashford's case, it can be said with complete assurance that his efforts are 100% authentic. For World Book Day in 2020, Rashford agreed to be the judge at a poetry competition that was held at a school for children with hearing impairments. Any other celebrity would get a lot of praise from fans and followers just for making an appearance. Rashford went the extra mile and spent the prior few days learning sign language, solely for the purpose of being able to introduce himself to the children. What an absolute legend. We've reached the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to click the thumbs up button and subscribe to our channel for more football related content. For more interesting football videos, click the video appearing on the screen now. I will see you in the next video.